Fun dad fact number 7. Did you know that the song Isn't She Lovely by Stevie Wonder is actually about his newborn daughter, Aisha? If you listen close enough, you can actually hear Aisha crying during the song. How about that? I'm Matt Howes, and this is Shits and Giggles, a podcast for dads. Hey there, winners. Welcome back to Shits and Giggles, a podcast for dads, the only podcast that openly admits to recording in their underwear. Anyway, it is October, ladies and gentlemen. Therefore, the return of the pumpkin spice is upon us. My wife has already forced me to go to Dunkin' Donuts to pick her up pumpkin spice munchkins and pumpkin spice everything. They have pumpkin spice hot dogs. They have pumpkin spice donuts. It's pumpkin spice, PSL, get me that latte. I know. But listen, in an effort to continue to be hip and hip to the groove and my finger on the pulse of the nation, I am going to let you know that Shits and Giggles now comes in pumpkin spice. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is a pumpkin spice podcast. I am so happy to announce and welcome to October to each and every one of you. Anyway, moving past that pandering self-promotion, I actually wanted to quickly go over, I had to get an endoscopy this week. And with a child, it's really difficult to do anything. My wife she's still on maternity leave, and I ended up taking a week, and trust me, I'm going to get into this nonsense with you shortly about further adventures in paternity leave. But I did to do my endoscopy. Sarah wanted to wait there, and they originally told me it was like 5 hours, and I was like, no, don't wait there. That's going to be nonsense time, and it's a hospital. I don't want her getting sick or anything like that, but whatever. She ended up waiting. Well, she went to get breakfast. It didn't take that long. But yeah, she wanted Penny to stay. I didn't want her to stay, so the compromise, of course, was they stayed. And dads out there, most of the time, that's going to be your compromise. What she wants and what you want, if you add them together, it somehow turns into what she wants. But that's okay. Happy wife, happy life, they say. I actually plan on telling you one more thing before we get into the meat and potatoes of this. And guess what? It's everybody's favorite new segment, just a little bit of advice. Doesn't everyone just love production? A new segment. Smells like victory to me, ladies and gentlemen. I want to point out something, boys, men out there. If you have scruff, not a full beard, I would say. My wife has this rotating brush for a face scrubber that she uses. And the other day I decided to just go Harry Carey and give myself a little facial in the bathroom, scrubbing up them pores. And guess what? You know when you get that oily feeling, like where you touch your beard and it just hurts, you can feel the oil in there? Well, boy howdy, use this little mamma jamma, and it cleaned it right up. I know that there's creams and there's oils and there's all kinds of manly things with plaid all over them, but this was something I was like, hell, why not? Give it a shot. I always have the worst part right around my face, right around my lips, the beard. I don't have a big beard. I just kind of keep it short, but yeah, it gets oily. And this little roto brush, they cost like $10. I'm sure your wife or your girlfriend has one out there. They're very good for your pores, I guess, but they're better for your beards. So dads out there, my bit of dad advice, go ahead. Don't feel ashamed to use a woman's rotary brush to clean your beard. And you don't have to tell her about it. I do, but you don't have to. That's my bit of dad advice. All right, everyone, here we are. Once again, further adventures in paid family leave. Guys, get your shit together all in a row, because the little things here the devil is in the details, people. I took this week off. My wife wasn't feeling great. She had hurt her back, so I just took this week off. And in my company, and it's not the same for everybody, but they allow you to take... Oh, bless you, Penny. Penny's here with me again. They allow me to take 6 weeks paid, not vacation, paternity leave. Excuse me, paid is a relative term. 6 weeks pittance. It's garbage what they show you, and you can go on the EDD website and they'll give you that calculator, and they'll tell you exactly what you're going to get. So don't look forward to a fucking vacation. But no, they'll tell you, they gave me my pittance. I can take 6 weeks. Starting from the day she is born, I have 1 year to take 6 weeks of paid leave, which I will not, because this process is nonsense. It is stupid. It's hard. It's very difficult to do. I can understand why some people just don't even bother with it, especially with how little I end up getting for a paycheck. Anyways, I might as well just take the week off unpaid, which I can do. By the way, they're like, I think I've said this before, though, you could take up to 12. I'm like, my boss, I could take up to a year off, and I don't think they'd really care because they're not paying me. But I had to I was like, you know what? I'm going to get this week covered under my 6 weeks. So why not get she needs my help this week. I had the endoscopy this week. I had to take Monday off for something as well. And I was like, you know what? Might as well just do the week and help out Sarah around the house. Well, should be easy, you say. Should be easy, you say. Well, it is not. Let me tell you. I called up the Employment Development Department, and there's a special thing for paid family leave. Boy, well, there's 6 prompts, each with their own subset of prompts on a completely automated voice system. And I was unable, and my wife and I both were really trying to find I need to talk to somebody, because there's nothing on their prompts that says, if you're interested in continuing paid family leave, this is where you should start. Well, I couldn't find that. It really doesn't exist on their prompts, and I needed to talk to somebody. Yet there was no press 0 to talk to an operator. You hit 0, they say you have an incorrect prompt. Well, we went online to see if we could find any assistance, and well, for the disability section, they had the go-to for just hit, I think it was 3, 2, 1, and 0, and you'll talk to an operator, because each one's a separate sub prompt. So we did that, and I waited on hold. Well, first off, it says the maximum number of calls have been reached. I'm like, oh, cool. So there's 10 million people calling, and I'm just 10 million and one, I suppose. But that is what it is. That's the way they work. Bully for them, I suppose. But eventually, I kept trying throughout the day, and I get a hold of somebody finally, and I'm like, hey, so I'm trying to get my paid family leave week here done, and I don't understand how I can just jump on another week of this stuff. And I go through the whole thing with this woman. She was very nice, and I just try to remain calm. This is already frustrating. I've already been on hold now for an hour, and I've gotten through finally. And this woman says, oh, you need the paid family leave department. And she gives me the number that I had already called. And I said, I tried to get a hold of an operator over there, and there's no operator function over there. I could not find a way to talk to a live person. And this woman was like, oh, you just need the right prompts. And thanks. It's like giving me life hacks. This woman, I kind of wish she was the one who helped me out the whole time, but she was under disability. I'm on paid family leave because why be easy? She gave me the prompts. It was 3, 1, 3, 2, 1, 1, 0. And she actually gave me 4 different sets of prompts, but she was nice enough to try them already. She would say, I'm going to transfer you over there. I'm just going to make sure I gave you the right prompts. So she tries her prompt. She's like, oh, that wasn't it. Let me try another one. Oh, that wasn't it. Let me try another one. Finally, we get the winner. And she transfers me over, and I'm on hold. And luckily she gave me the prompts. I wrote them down. They're on my folder for paid family leave in my filing cabinet. My filing cabinet, mon so petit, mignon. Oh, no, sorry. Sometimes I tangent. We know this. And so I finally get through, and now I'm on hold again. Now, keep in mind, this is hour 2 of working on this nonsense. Okay. I just want to access my benefits. My God-given benefits. But no, this is how it has to be. Whatever. I'm on hold for approximately 48 minutes, and then it disconnects. It completely disconnects from me. And I am livid because I have been doing this for far too long to have to start from the bottom again. But there's, unfortunately, either I go back and call the disability people to have them transfer me again, or I do the prompts the lady gives me. So I do the prompts the lady gives me, that she gave me, and guess what? The maximum number of callers has been reached. The maximum number of callers has been reached over and over and over again. It is insane, the level of bureaucracy involved. This is so stupid. And I'm like, come on, man, just let me fill it out like a paycheck. You know, why does it have to be like that? This nightmare can be over. You just let me just click a button. And then I call my benefits lady, who basically says she has nothing left to do in this, and that's the end of it, which is fine, I guess. I can't argue with her. She's set this all up for me. Now I guess it's my responsibility to take care of everything. And she goes, yeah, there's nothing I can do. I sent her an email. I'm like, hey, I'm having a real tough time with this. I can't get a hold of anybody. And she's like, oh, that's weird. That's never happened before. Keep trying. And I'm like, you're so helpful. It's so helpful. Jesus. And so, I eventually get on another 48-minute wait. I get past the prompts. I get past the too many people calling. And I get a nice fat wait time. And somebody answers the phone. Thank you. Thank you, God. Somebody answered the phone. Well, this woman, very nice, but kind of like, it almost felt like every time I talked, she had to take a few minutes to process what I said. Perfect, like English, American speaking. It's not like some Indian call center. This is like legit. And I don't know. It was weird the way that she was talking to me. And she goes, oh, okay, well, we have here that you take and pay for your, and she had the wrong dates. Right? I have a letter from them certifying the dates that I was paid were correct. And she says, the system says I didn't start taking my benefits until July 27th. And I was like, well, my daughter was born on the 8th. And I worked, I only took a week off. So I don't quite understand why my benefits are saying I did this. And now that's a whole new shitstorm that I have to. So, guys, when you do your leave, you should take the time to make sure, because I filled out everything correctly. I filled out everything fine. And I got the wrong dates put in the system by somebody when they called to confirm with my employment, they gave the wrong dates. And B, they overpaid me, so I had to set aside the overpayment and wait for them to essentially send me a bill to say that I owe them this extra overpayment. They paid me for 3 weeks. I only registered for 1. And I'm not going to spend that money because that's stupid. That's how you get into trouble. And that's how I don't just have a spare $900 floating around when I need to, when the tax man coming and says, oh, hey, where's that money we gave you that we shouldn't have? Oh, well, you shouldn't have in the first place. But that's neither here nor there. So they have the wrong dates. And so she's just like, that's so weird. Well, it says here, it looks like you didn't take your benefits till then. I'm like, well, I did for sure take my benefits the week my daughter was born, which was the 8th of July. There's no reason I would have taken it 2 weeks later for no reason. And this is the second, I'm trying to attempt for my second week of paid family leave. So there's no, and I haven't done anything but file the correct paperwork. So I don't see where the problem is here. And one of this woman was just hung up on the fact, that's so weird. Oh my God. I mean, just like you say, you take it on the 8th. And you tell on the 27th. And they said the 27th. But you say on the 8th. And I'm like, lady, okay, let's try to bowl down this alley. Okay, you shoot for the middle. Okay, you're bouncing off the walls here. I kind of need to go straight down. I've been on this for fucking 4 hours. I'm irritated. And, she's like, well, what you need to do is file a continuing benefits form. And I'm like, yeah, okay, well, my benefits lady for my work said that I could actually do all this online. So I registered an account earlier. I'm telling this to the woman I'm speaking with the paid family leave. And I registered an account and it said I had 0 claims in the system. So, it doesn't even have the existing one. And I used my social. And I used everything. All the stuff it told me. All the stuff that I filled out in the original. Because I filled my original paid family leave paperwork out by mail. And this one was like, and she's like, oh, well, you can just do that all over again. And I'm like, well, you're saying there's a form for continued benefits that I wouldn't have to just fill out all this nonsense again. And I could just kind of jump right back on. And she's like, oh, I can mail that to you. I'm like, you can mail it to me? I'm like, can you email it to me? She's like, no, we'll mail it out to you. That's okay. And then she's hung up again on this, the dates are wrong. And I'm like, well, so can you call? And I said, call them. Is that your job? Well, get this. She goes, yeah, well, we tried to call there because she put me on hold a few times and I guess she was contacting my employer. And so Cast and Crew, who does the payroll for my company, I guess there was a very small wait time to speak to the woman who they're supposed to talk to. And she goes, yeah, my guy called. And it's so weird that he just didn't want to wait on hold. So you need to call them and get them to mail us on their letterhead that you didn't work these weeks and that these are the correct weeks you were out. And, then, whatever. And I'm like, so your guy didn't want to wait on hold. Your guy literally didn't want to do his job. And now you're putting it on me. You admitted that this guy's job was to call and verify. And now it's on me. It's on. So now it's my fault because this guy didn't want to wait on hold. That's your job. That is your job. Clearly your job is to wait on hold. And this is friggin' nonsense. And I'm like, oh, whatever, lady. Jesus. Okay, fine, I'll do it. Like, whatever. So I specifically need to do this. And I'm like, how am I going to know that when this gets over to you that it's all fixed? Am I going to have to call you? I said, I've just been on this for 5 goddamn hours. I don't want to wait on hold. Can you have someone call me? Oh, well, sure, I can note in your account that this is what you want. I'm like, no, you're not noting what I want, because what I want is for you to just confirm that this is, like, to do your fucking job, not to have me do your job, because I'm not getting paid to do your job. I believe that's what you're getting paid for. But no, it's all up to me, right? And so a lot of these companies have don't wait on hold, we'll call you back. And I've been burned by that before, but I have been on the phone and on hold for so long this day. Once I hung up with this crazy woman, I said, also, because she kind of glazed over it, I'm like, please make sure you mail this form out to me so I can fill out for this week and we can fix the rest when we need to fix the rest. Simple. She's like, okay, I'll send that out. And I'm like, and I confirm my address one more time because they sent me something to my previous apartment address, even though I've updated my address 100 times. And she had the right address, so we were good. And whatever. And so I finally hang up with her, and I have to call my cast and crew payroll department. Well, that's another wait time, and I wasn't going to wait, so I just put the money in to call them, have them call me back. And I did. I waited probably 20 minutes. Okay, so the guy didn't want to wait on hold for 20 minutes. Well, sorry, pal. Again, that's your job. I don't understand why. It's on me. And the woman called me back, super nice. And this has nothing to do with her whatsoever. She was like, oh, yeah, well, I see here in our system that you didn't work that week. I don't understand why they... And I'm like, yeah, apparently the guy didn't want to wait on hold. And she's like, oh, sorry. And I'm like, no, it's not your fault. Clearly you're the one person that has to be called about this, and this is a very regular thing. I appreciate you calling me back as quickly as you did, honestly. I'm like, this is the fastest I've actually communicated with someone today. And she was really nice, and she's like, oh, well, I'm like, well, I need you to mail on your letterhead this, blah, blah, blah. Everything she told me. I have the address, the P.O. box, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, we don't do that. And I'm like, this isn't someone who doesn't want to do their job. This is someone who's very helpful. They're doing everything they can to be helpful. So we can spool you a report and give you all your full pay stubs for the years to prove that you had a pay gap on the 8th, and that's when you were there. But we can only deal with you directly. We can't send it to anybody else. And I was like, oh, geez. I'm like, so you're telling me, no, this is not your fault, that the one thing that this crazy dumb fuck woman at paid family leave told me to do to get this problem resolved, you do not do this. And you've never done that. And it's just your company policy. And she's like, absolutely, unfortunately, that's what I'm saying. And I'm like, okay, well, send me the report. I hung up the phone with my wife and kid, and I was just like screamed. I was so irritated because this is so fucking ridiculous. But here we are. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to take care of this on Monday because I don't have the strength. I don't for this right now. So on Monday, or I guess it would be yesterday because you're listening to this on Tuesday, I will take care of this, and I'll probably tell you more about it. But oh my God. Like, can you believe the lack of accountability on anyone's part? And I'm sorry, why am I doing someone else's job? I know I'm harping on that a little bit, but when you tell me, you shouldn't have told me this. You should never have said, oh, he didn't want to wait on hold. Well, too fucking bad. I've been waiting on hold all goddamn day. It's like it's my job now. I'm just trying to get paid. If someone throw me a fucking penny for a couple weeks or for 1 week. Like, I mean, shit, I might as well just not even bother. But now it's the principle of the thing. And so I'm going to work on that. But good Lord, it's just a nonsense burger. And so I really needed to vent about that. My wife was there the whole time, and I was just like, I'm apologizing to her because, and then she's apologizing to me because she had me say, oh, I'm like, this is not your fault. This is my, like every time it's like Sisyphus pushing the rock up the mountain, right as once you get to the top, it rolls back down. Or the other guy who every time he goes down to get a drink of water, the water recedes. It's just an exercise in madness. This and my company, every time it's always little things. Oh, and then I don't know how this happened. When I filled out to add Penelope to my benefits at work, it said first and last, no middle. No, so I wrote Penelope House. And so I get it. We finally get it when she's on our insurance. That was another fucking nightmare. Get it? The insurance. When you do insurance, you make sure that everything is 100% accurate. So I put in that we had Dr. Regala. Well, apparently, because I didn't have his doctor number, so they just looked it up for me. Well, apparently there's another Dr. Regala that's not in our network that I was assigned to for her. And so we weren't getting anything billed to our proper doctor, and we were 100% patient responsibility for everything for the first month. And of course, you can backdate that stuff. That's not that difficult. But I haven't had the want to sit on the hold with Aetna. Aetna is literally worse than what I just had to deal with EDD because they are so much longer. That's like an hour wait minimum, and then they're very difficult to work with. So, try to get this stuff as clear and properly done beforehand. And I did. I filled everything out correctly. But again, so back to what I want to talk about with the insurance ID card. Well, I get a insurance card for my lovely daughter, Penelope. Well, what does it say on this? Penelope C. House. And I was like, they didn't have me put a middle name on this, so someone just arbitrarily assigned her a middle name. I'm like, is she Grace? Penelope Grace House? It's crazy. This is crazy. I don't understand where the C came from because I didn't put anything there. So another thing, if you fill out benefits forms, you make damn well sure that the person who's filing them, because when I had to do this, I had to mail it to 3 different places. The government got one, my office got one, and I don't know, probably some weirdo got one. I don't know. They're all preformed for me. That's fine. But like, it was a staggering amount of things that were wrong with this insurance. And then I'm having to deal with my paid family leave, with the insurance nonsense. It's just so annoying. Good Lord. Let's talk about something else. I'm done. I'm done with that topic. That's more than enough from me about my griping and venting, but I feel like you listen to this for that. I think that's the personal touch that I give to this show. It's my griping and my venting. Let's talk about something I think would be really fun if I could bring it to Los Angeles. I've noticed that a lot of different cities do this thing around Father's Day. Not a lot, like definitely not prominent where it would be nationally recognized, but it's like around Father's Day they do something like a dad fest, like a festival to celebrate fatherhood, And I think that'd be super cool. You get the 3 beers, the 3 B's. You got beer, brats, and bacon. Okay, and you get some whiskey. Have some fun games like that would utilize power tools of some sort, perhaps a leaf blowing contest or something. We do the Dad Olympics, which is actually an idea I kind of want to flesh out to be a fun little game show. Picture like a Wipeout style show where you're doing things at a dad, like having a baby in one arm and carrying everything from the grocery, all the bags from the grocery store on the other arm to avoid a second trip. Doing all those fun things, just a bunch of different stuff. That would be kind of neat. So I'm gonna just look and see if anything like that is coming out around here in Los Angeles. But if anybody's interested on working on it, I don't have the time to plan it, but I'd be happy to help however I can. Celebration of fatherhood, and it's it makes sense that it'd be on like Father's Day or something like that because why not? It's for dads. Yeah, it could be cool. Yeah, I could get done. We know a couple people who would probably sponsor it if we could get it going. That would be great. Just something like a nice festival. Who doesn't like a good festival? First off, it could just be a festival for anything. Like, LA Beer Fest could be a dad festival for all I care. But, just to have it be for dads, to celebrate fatherhood, being, a good dad every once in a while. It'd be cool. I guess here we go, guys. We're moving on. And you know what we're moving on to? It's that HEP News segment. That HEP News segment. What? What's that? It's not It is. It's good news, dad news. Well, I couldn't quite find the article for this, but everybody around right now is too worried about Trump and the Ukraine. Oh, Trump and the president of the Ukraine. Well, you know what I'm worried about? This Ukrainian chick that was adopted who is now being told that she's 22 years old. She's a psychopath and a sociopath. I talked about this last week, and there's more. Ooh, it's just, I'm eating it up. I don't have anything great. I have a really quick article that everybody will be happy about, but I just want to, I couldn't find the article for this particular one again, but it turns out she's been adopted by yet another family. And they're showing pictures of her with this other family on Facebook saying, she's not troubled. She's not doing anything. Oh, she hasn't certainly tried to push me into an electric fence. She hasn't threatened to stab me. And she definitely hasn't poisoned my coffee with bleach. And I'm like, oh, cool. So you just think it's cool. You think it's totally normal, all these things that are surrounding this, and that like she's probably like she has that like Andy Milonakis disease where you like look super young forever, I guess. But or I don't know if it's like a condition. I don't think it'd be a disease. But yeah, I can't wait. I'm hoping more comes out on this because I plan on doing a full breakdown from start to finish if I can get a little bit more. Just a little. I'm hanging on the edge for it. But this article that I'm going to talk about for good news and dad news today is something every father says they'll do. In a certain situation. It's from ABC News, and its headlines is "No Charges for Dad Who Killed Daughter's Molester." A Texas rancher who beat his daughter's accused molester to death moments after he discovered the man raping the 5-year-old girl will not be charged with his homicide, officials said, as they released the chilling 911 tapes of the father calling for help as the other man died. A grand jury Tuesday decided not to indict the 24-year-old father who beat ranch hand Jesus Mora Flores, so Jesus Mora Flores probably, to death with his bare hands after finding the man abusing his daughter behind a barn. Now, guys, this is it. This is the, are you man enough? I don't condone murder. Who does? I mean, some people do. That's your own prerogative. But I have said it. If I ever found somebody molesting or raping or even hurting my daughter, I always be like, you know what? This is something I'd be happy to go to jail for. And dads out there, I know you all feel the same way. So I'm happy this man did not get indicted and they didn't put any charges on him and he's off scot-free because he took a pervert. He took someone who is so mentally deranged that they want to steal the innocence and childhood of one child and probably more. I highly doubt it was the first offense this guy had. And if it was, let this be a lesson to you out there who may be thinking that you feel like you have that urge to do something like this. You will get beat to death. And everyone is going to know who you are and what you did, and you will not be celebrated. And that's the last thing people are ever going to know about you is you're a dirty little kid toucher. And I told my wife, and she's fine with it. I'm like, if I had to, I mean, who knows when the situation comes up? Obviously, you know, adrenaline rising. But boy, howdy, if I found someone doing anything to my daughter, I would go to jail for that in a heartbeat. I would do it, and I would do. I think the guy called 911 to try and get an ambulance for the guy, but he died on the way. But like, yeah, I'd be like, hey, officers, I'm here. I just killed this guy who raped my daughter. Feel free to put me in the handcuffs, or do you want me to just come down? I'll meet you at the jail. That's fine. Because if you think that touching kids is cool, you're a piece of shit. There's no point in life and there's no redeemability to someone who's that fucked up. So I don't condone murder, but in this case, I'm totally okay with it because that person deserves to have his life taken away because some things like that can ruin a person for life. Things like that can ruin a person. And it's just little things like big things like that. Little things can ruin a person for life. Big things like rape and molestation, those can really fuck somebody up. So yeah, this guy, hi Penny, sweetie. Yeah, I got you, girl. You know I got you, boo. She's getting a little fussy. So I guess that's that for good news, dad news. So we'll move on to the final segment. As always, it's Where is my penny at developmentally? Couple quick things here, Penny, developmentally wise. Well, first off, she has pink eye. That's great. From what I've been told, that's like you're gonna get that like every few weeks as a baby, or you clean their hands, you do the best you can, but pink eye, it's inevitable. So a nice gooey layer of film over her eye. We're putting the ointment on, which is another step, a nightmare unto itself, but we are working diligently as good parents to make sure that she is happy and healthy. So she'll be over pink eye in a couple days. I don't know if we'll ever get over having to see her with a goopy eye, but we'll see. One of the things she's doing now, well, she is having this thing where I'll be feeding her, right? We'll watching TV, and my wife's in the other room, and she'll be like, "Hey, honey," and I'm like, "Oh, what's up?" And the second I make any noise, she just goes inconsolable. Like, she's like, I just totally harshed her mellow. I interrupted her meditation session, essentially, while she was feeding. And she is not happy about it, guys. She is like, oh, and you have to sit there. I'm like, I know the only way I'm going to continue to calm you down is if I feed you. So can you please close your mouth and stop like, It's like the worst ugly crying that there is. Of course, my daughter is so beautiful. She can't ugly cry, but she tries her hardest, I'll tell you. That's fun. And then, I never thought I'd miss cleaning up massive explosive shits, and I know that they're going to come back, but her poopies are getting more solid and more and smaller. So they're getting denser. It's just not everywhere. And I mean, no one loves to clean dirty diapers, but it's like, my little girl's growing up. Baby girl. But then I've seen videos of like real backsplash, like where it's going up the back for older kids. I'm like, ugh, I'm not looking forward to that. But yeah, she's getting there. She's my baby girl. But lastly, I started to read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy to Penny and my wife. She has never read it before. It is my favorite book of all time. And just reading the first couple of pages of it was really good. And I super, super duper enjoyed it. And I can't wait. We're just going to do story time every night. Me reading to both of them. Again, my wife hasn't heard it. And if you haven't read The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I suggest you do. Okay, ladies and germs, my daughter is getting fussy. She needs a bottle. But as always, I'd appreciate it if you went on iTunes and you wrote a review of the podcast. Good or bad, just the more reviews we get, the more exposure we get. We've hit like 1,200 likes on the Facebook page. I'm super stoked. People are really interacting with the posts. It's great. We just need more and more reach, guys. We're doing the best we can here, but we can always go a little extra. You know what I mean? I really appreciate all the listeners that have been calling in. We have a shirt. We have a shop that sells t-shirts. It's somewhere on the page. I don't really promote it because it's like the company gets more money than I do. And I'm not really trying to make that like money right now. I'm just trying to grow an audience. So find it on the Facebook page. It's floating around there. I'll probably share it again. I just ordered, and you'll see them later. It was in the post I made before the show, and it was a onesie with the Shits and Giggles logo on it, and I cannot wait. I'm going to have my shirt on and Penny's shirt on. We're going to get a picture and we'll put that up. You'll have seen that ideally before you've even listened to this, because I'll probably post it today, Saturday. A big thanks again to everyone who's listening, everyone who's talking. We really appreciate it over here. Penny certainly does, but I gotta go, so I'm going to leave you with my world famous words of wisdom. My kid is better than your kid, and vaccinate your kids or keep them the hell away from mine. I'm Matt Howes, and this has been Shits and Giggles, a podcast for dads. You've just listened to one dad's perspective on parenting. This show is not meant to be an authority on how you should raise your kids. Did you enjoy the show? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share on social media. Leave a review. Anywhere that you can find and download podcasts, you can find Shits and Giggles. Find us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at shitsandgigs42 with 2 G's. Email us at shitsandgigs42@gmail.com. You can find us on YouTube as well by searching for Shits and Giggles, a podcast for dads. Don't forget, you can also call the hotline to leave a quick story about you as a parent at 818-835-2350. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.